3 traits that often lead to unhappiness in women's lives. Hello, everyone. Have you ever found yourself wondering why, despite having a reasonably comfortable life, you still feel a sense of unhappiness or discontentment? It's a question many women ask themselves, especially as we get older. You see, the passage of time brings with it wisdom, but also the realization that some aspects of our lives haven't turned out quite as we hoped. Today, I want to talk about 3 traits that often lead to unhappiness in women's lives, especially as we reach our golden years. It's never too late to reflect, understand, and make the changes necessary to find true happiness and peace. Now, I know we all have preconceived notions about what makes us unhappy. Some might think it's the circumstances, like not having traveled enough or missing out on certain experiences. But the truth is, there are deeper, more ingrained habits or traits that can silently shape our emotional landscape. One major misconception is believing that external factors alone dictate our happiness. Of course, we can't control everything, but focusing on internal changes can have a profound impact. Let me clarify this with an example. Just as a gardener knows that the health of a plant depends not only on the weather but also on the soil, we too must nurture our inner self to thrive, regardless of external conditions. This isn't just philosophical, it's practical and transformative. I want you to take a moment right now and ask yourself, am I holding on to traits or habits that don't serve my happiness? It's a tough question, but an important one. Think about your daily routines and interactions. Do you find yourself often worrying about things beyond your control? Or perhaps, do you struggle with forgiving others or even yourself? If you recognize these patterns, it's a sign that it's time for a change. Here's what we can do. Start small. Choose one thing to focus on changing today. Maybe it's letting go of a grudge or practicing gratitude more intentionally. Remember, those who take the first step, no matter how small, set themselves on a path far brighter than those who remain stagnant. Imagine, if you will, that life is a garden. Each of our traits is like a different kind of plant. Now, some plants, like unwavering faith or kindness, are like roses that add beauty and fragrance. But others, such as jealousy or excessive worry, are like weeds that choke the life out of everything around them. If we don't take the time to prune and care for our garden, those weeds can overrun it. By identifying and removing these detrimental traits, we allow space for positivity and joy to grow. Remember, a well-tended garden doesn't just survive, it flourishes and becomes a sanctuary of peace and beauty. Similarly, by nurturing positive traits and removing negative ones, we can transform our inner world. It's important to acknowledge that this journey is not without its challenges. Real change requires effort and perseverance. Think about the first time you tried to learn something new, maybe knitting or learning a new language. It was difficult at first, right? But with consistent practice, you improved. I recall a dear friend of mine who spent years battling with feelings of unworthiness, only to discover through counseling and self-reflection that those feelings stemmed from unrealistic self-expectations. By setting smaller, more achievable goals and recognizing her worth in the process, she found a renewed sense of joy. It wasn't easy, but it was absolutely worth it. So when you encounter obstacles, remind yourself that every small step forward is a victory. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a powerful message. Every woman deserves happiness. It's not about achieving perfection, but about striving for progress and inner peace. Take a look at your life today and identify one trait that you feel might be leading you towards unhappiness. Decide to work on it starting now. By doing this, you are taking a stand for your well-being and your future happiness. Picture yourself a year from now, looking back and thanking yourself for the courage to make this change. So, start today. Engage with this video by sharing your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community of support and encouragement. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content. Together we can create a life filled with joy and fulfillment. Until next time, stay happy and take care.